Warning. The views and opinions are strictly those of the Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigations and Events team, and do not reflect or represent the views of other ghost hunting groups, individuals, and ghost hunting shows. The videos shown are unedited, real, and filmed by the Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigations and Events team. Due to some content, some videos may not be suitable for children under the age of 13. Thanks for your understanding and enjoy the video.
Hi everybody, welcome to our new show, Shadow Hunters YouTube Experience. This is a show where we bring different paranormal guests on, whether they have their own paranormal team, they're YouTube creators, anything like that. For those that do not know me, my name is Nick Sarlo. I'm the founder and lead investigator of Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigation and Events. We have been investigating for about 16 years now, and we love what we do. We love talking with new people. So if you guys are brand new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and that little bell notification. You guys will be notified anytime one of our videos are on or we do go live. So as I was saying, with this video, or this brand new series, we like to bring people on and talk to them about the paranormal. So without further ado, we actually have Get Spooky Society. Hello.
Hi everybody. Hello.
How you guys doing tonight?
Very well, thank you.
Good, good, good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm just we're trying to dig out from all the snow that we had received in lovely Illinois.
Yeah.
School with a girl that lives probably close to you, and my mom and dad were talking. My mom loves snow so much, and my dad said, I guess we're just going to have to go live by Marnie in the winter time instead of Florida. She wants to go to the snow, so.
Yeah. If I can live in Florida or a warmer state, I'm sick of snow. I've seen snow for 35 years. I don't need no more. So yeah, with Get Spooky Society, how long have you guys been investigating the paranormal?
Well, officially together, we've been investigating coming up on a year here in February. But we do have a video on our channel that we did on December 30th, and it talks about us as individuals and how we got to where we are. So we've all had our abilities, and except Dale, and because he still doesn't think he has any, which he does, but we've all been born this way. So it sounds funny when we say we've only been investigating officially for a year, because we've been talking to spirits our whole life.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, when you guys say like abilities, are meaning like psychic or empath or both?
I'll let Tina.
Well, I am a psychic medium. I didn't know what that was until, I accepted what I was seeing and hearing. But yeah, now I, proudly say I see and hear and feel, the energies of dead people.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
That's
How was it?
Yeah.
So like when you first felt that feeling, what did you think?
Well, it was as long back as I can remember. I can remember being a very small child and telling my mother that my great-grandmother had passed away. And she's like, no, she didn't. She's, at her nursing home. She's fine.
Right.
And sure enough, she had passed away. And I was, 5 or 6. I was very young.
Right.
And there was so many other incidences through my childhood that eventually everybody was just kind of like, she's a little different. But that's okay. It's okay, you know.
It is. It's definitely okay to be different. I mean, look at us.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
anytime I tell people I hunt ghosts, they're like, "You do what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
What? We're
Yeah.
different. Who
We're
cares?"
different. It's all right. It's all good. You know.
Well,
And just
I knew just from being born on Halloween, and I was fascinated with it. But then also,
Yeah.
I grew up around antiques, and I now live in an 1800s house, and it's all full of antiques. And I didn't understand really what an empath was, or that's what I was until more recently. Now I understand why I can't be in crowds, why, you know, like I'd rather be by myself. And it's really, since I met Tina and Ashley, it's really helped me a lot understand, and then being able to control my abilities because I'm very, very sensitive. Like I thought I was losing my mind until I realized what was going on.
Yeah, she's highly sensitive. Yeah. So we've helped each other grow. We've done a lot of classes and things to learn how to develop and grow and accept and, tap in and protect ourselves and all that good stuff.
Right.
We've spent this year really, really honing our skills
and then we have Ashley as well on our team, and she had been with a previous paranormal team, and she and I met. If you watched any of our most recent ones, investigations, like the one I put on this morning, was the third of 4 from the Norris English Pub in Liberty, Indiana, and that's where she and I met. And she was telling me it was around my birthday, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, your birthday's on Halloween. I just joined this group." And then I went to some of their investigations, and then she decided she wanted to go out on her own. So I said, well, I want to be in on it. And Tina and I met we both are artists. So we met at a holiday barn, and I was telling her, she says, well, I want to be in on it. And then she met Dale. Dale thought it was fascinating, and he has gotten to be an amazing videographer. I mean,
yeah, he really has.
Amazing videographer. So we've all grown so much in our abilities, whether it be me editing, him filming, our abilities as empaths and psychics. And we have a website now that you can book any of us for readings and all that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. We have a psychic medium on our team, Scotty Rourke, who's been around for a while, and he's trying to get all of us to, really open up our gifts more. We have a lady on our team, Sharon. She does angel oracle readings on Tuesday nights. She's really learned a lot from Scotty. Then we have Greg, who's learning a lot from Scotty. The first day Scotty met me, he goes, "That boy's an empath, and he doesn't know it."
Exactly. Exactly.
Because I would always feel like other emotions, and I just thought it was like plain anxiety. I was like, yeah, it's just anxiety, whatever.
Right.
And Scotty's like, no, you have gifts. You better learn how to use them.
Learn how to control it and how to protect yourself and all that. That's very important.
Oh, absolutely. Like we just came back from Baraboo, Wisconsin. We investigated the old Baraboo Inn, and it was kind of like a big test for a lot of people with their abilities and all that. And going downstairs in the basement, which is like the creepiest part of that building, we had a lady on our team. She's brand new. Her name's Diana. She kind of opened herself up too much, and all of a sudden she started swearing and this and that. We're like, whoa.
Yes.
And then luckily because we have another medium, Devin, on the team too, who actually runs the Ohio chapter of Shadow Hunters.
Yeah.
And she, her and Scotty got together and just kind of calmed her down and made her realize what was going on. So yeah, it's definitely very important to learn not to open yourself up too much.
Correct.
But then again, you don't want to be too closed either, because then nothing will happen.
Right. Well, you can be open and still be protected. Still
absolutely.
Protections up, and that's what. I've worked very hard with the team to, help them learn how to do it. And then I also, I feel responsible for the team, and I put my protections around them. And, you know, if anything starts attacking, or attacking is not really the right word, but if anything feels aggressive, you know,
Right.
shut them down pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure you guys do too. We always bring like protection crystals with us and all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Black obsidian is definitely our favorite to use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because even when we were at the Norris Pub, the one we're uploading now, I usually have my crystals in my right-hand pants pocket, and there was nothing malicious there whatsoever, but we were in an old EMT hub, and there were so many spirits wanting, like, just begging to talk to us, and my crystals were just moving in my pocket several times, just tingling around in my pocket.
Right.
So it was pretty cool. But there's only been, twice?
There's a handful of times where we've had to really, you know.
Yeah. But there's only been twice that I felt like provoking, because we don't provoke. And there's only twice that I got so mad and angry by the spirit we were dealing with. Tina had to leave the room. She was sick to her stomach, like literally going to throw up. Yeah. And I had to cut some of the footage out because Ashley and I were literally so mad wanting to provoke. And so I don't want that on YouTube. Right. So I cut some of it out. And then there was another one that bad things happened in this building and we didn't know it. We were lied to until we got there. And luckily where we were surrounded by crystals that weren't even ours. And so everything was kept from us, but still it was just that want to fight with them.
Right.
But I can't say, people always ask me, well, weren't you scared? I've never been scared.
No.
You're so in the zone and in that trance and paying attention to what you're doing that I don't even know where I am anymore. I mean, I have to admit the Randolph Asylum Infirmary basement, but we had been investigating for how many hours before we got to the basement?
13 hours before we got
Yeah. We were mentally so exhausted that I just wasn't sure I could do it anymore to protect myself. But once we were down there, I mean, I still wanted to throw up in a few rooms, but we were fine. And there's nothing malicious there.
Nothing malicious. It's just it's very creepy down there. I mean, it just is.
Right.
A lot of residual. I mean, it's two or three buildings built on the same foundation over time. So there's, you know, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it's, you know, certain places you go into, there may not be anything malicious or anything like that, but you still get that sense of, you know, there's something going on, you know, because it's like they say, if they were bad in real life, they're going to be bad in the afterlife.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and you still get that negative energy, not just, you know, it's not like, I won't say certain TV shows, you know, everything is a demon and all that kind of stuff. Like, no, like, if, you know, you were bad in the real life, you're bad in death. That's what they say. Or if you were good, you were good. I mean, same thing.
Right.
Hey, look, Mark B's with us.
Hello, Mark.
I mean, there is negative out there. We don't allow it. Point blank, I will not tolerate it. I will not put up with it. I will not tolerate it. Don't touch my team. Don't touch me. Nope. Mama bear. I come out as a mama bear with claws.
Halloween night.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Halloween night. I was ready to tossle some down the hill. It was I'm like, don't mess with Stephanie. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was being choked.
she was, her air was getting taken, and I was like, oh hell no.
Nope.
You cannot do that. Nope.
Yeah, it's I mean, we always do the prayer to St. Michael before we do any investigation. You know, we have some investigators on our team that are not religious. So we do this prayer to St. Michael, and then we do what's called the white light ceremony, where we play this very calm music, and we have imagine a white light coming from the sky
Correct.
and forming a bubble around your body, and
Correct.
only positivity can enter that bubble, nothing
Correct.
negative. And
Correct.
we're always very, very respectful to the spirits.
Exactly.
We say
That
thank
is
you. We say
so important.
please, this, that,
Yes.
anything like that.
That
Yes.
is absolutely the key to a good
Mhm.
investigator, right there.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
respect.
Yeah. And if you watch from when we started investigating, Ashley and I, the first one we ever filmed, my house was the first investigation, but the first one we ever filmed was in the middle of a cow pasture in like a two family cemetery. That's the cows are just walking all over. And we got a few things, and it was a super moon. I think that was a pink super moon. And from there, just how we've progressed, just because of our abilities in working on all of that. And the reason why I bring that up is because with all the controversy going on and all the drama going on right now, your team, Nick, has mediums and empaths, etc. We do as well. And my team feels that that's why we're so successful.
Mm-hmm.
There are people out there that think we're full of crap and that they would never want a medium on their team, and empaths don't exist. So, but
Right.
I feel like that's
Right.
why our investigations are just packed from the beginning to the end now, because they know we can communicate with them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Absolutely.
can draw them in and get the story.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that, since we added a medium, we've been kind of getting a little bit more interaction with the spirits going on. For example, like,
right.
we have the paranormal equipment and all that kind of stuff, and we always bring the REM pod with. I love the REM pod. That's like my favorite piece of equipment.
Mhm.
And it's usually at investigations, it's quiet.
Yeah,
Nothing happens. We add Scotty and Devin to the team, and the thing doesn't shut up.
Yeah.
Which is it's nice though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that too, like bringing on some psychic, mediums and all that, and then when they help you really, open up your third eye, you're getting more attention also.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because when
the REM pod has been going crazy at a few of our investigations, including my house recently. I had it go off every once in a while. If I get bored, I'll just it's on right now, but I just set some stuff up. And yesterday I had the cat ball, the flashlight, and the REM pod, all three going off on my hearth at the same time.
Her house is so active. It's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, the REM pod is that one that you're like, please, please, please. And then sometimes it'll just blip. And then other times it just goes on and on and on and on and on.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, there's been times where we're like, okay, is the battery not working? What's going on? I just put new batteries in it.
Right.
When we went to, what's the place? I can't think of it. The hotel in Indiana, the Rhodes. Thank you. When we went to the Rhodes Hotel, that was the first time that whatever was there drained it, and all 4 lights went on, and it just held the antenna. And we've never had that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What do we do in this situation? We're like, okay. It almost kind of felt like we were being surrounded. Like, they're coming. Get ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, you're gonna have to start doing video. Your pictures are amazing. He gets the most amazing cemetery entities in these shots.
They are.
We're
pretty cool.
One, and he's got tons of them. But yeah, we have started now to where I tell everybody, usually, and you guys are probably the same way. You go in and you set up your equipment. Well, you do a walkthrough, and figure out what feels what, and then you start to set up the equipment. And it used to be we'd set up the equipment while Dale was getting the camera ready, and now it's like, no, get the camera up, because inevitably our last couple investigations, stuff just started happening right away before we were even introduced to them before. I mean, Tina had the REM pod going off just in her walkthrough while we were doing an interview with the pub cook. And we didn't even know it because she was in another room, and we walk in 30 minutes later and she's just like, it's just doing it.
It was just doing it, guys. And typically how we do our investigations is I know nothing about the location except the address.
Mm-hmm.
I know no history. So I go in first and I go around each room, get the feels. Then I sit down and channel while they set everything up. Well, in this last particular one at Norris Pub, I was almost done with my walkthrough, and I went into this back room, and I take things with me just in case, and I had the REM pod and some flashlights, and they just went crazy, and I'm like, I can't even leave the room to go tell anybody.
Right.
So I was like, oh, real quick, I did my own little protections and introduced myself and was like, okay guys, just keep on talking, just keep talking to me, and jotting stuff down, and it was really crazy that it just gets like that sometimes. Some places they're dying to talk to us.
Absolutely. I mean, like this past weekend when we went to the Old Baraboo Inn, Scotty stayed downstairs for a little bit, and he kind of wanted to see like what was going on. So he came upstairs since he's been there before, and we haven't. This was the first time we went, and he's like, "Okay, explain to me what happened." So we're telling him this is how we felt. This is what happened. This is who got touched. This, that, and he goes, "All right, it's all making sense." We're like, "Oh," and then we go downstairs, and he's like, "Okay, can you guys tell me what happened down here?" And all of a sudden I started getting like visions of like people being drowned. I started getting like people being shot and all this. And he goes, "Yep." And I was like, well, I guess my gifts are really coming out.
They're growing.
When they want you to know, they'll let you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like I always say too, like when they want to interact with you, they'll do it on their time, not your time.
Right.
And it's like when people provoke. I hate when people provoke.
No,
it's like,
we don't do that.
Just be very nice to the spirits. They're doing you a favor. They're interacting with you. And I mean, even just by getting one itty bitty tiny little EVP, that's amazing that they did that.
It takes a lot of energy to do that.
Absolutely. And it's it's always nice communicating with the other side and saying thank you, please, and all that, because here's the thing that we kind of go off of. If you do something that they were used to when they were alive, so like for example, our team, we do laugh a lot. We love laughing. We love having a good time on our investigations. When we do that, we get more evidence that way, because they're like, oh, okay, I know what they're doing. I'm going to kind of go along and interact with them. And it's the same as saying please or thank you or anything like that.
Of course. And sometimes, especially in the beginning when we were first doing this together, we had to kind of remind each other to use terminology appropriate to the time period of the location. They don't know what a car is. They don't know what that is.
They don't know what a flashlight is, possibly.
Flashlight.
Like
so
right.
kind of change your terminology a little bit, and it really helped. It really, they're like, oh, okay, that's it.
Kind of like a normal, like a trigger object, or we had finally purchased the Boo Bear from Ghost Stop.
I want one of those.
And let me tell you, when you're in the dark and that goes off, it's creepy. It'll say like different lines. It'll say like anything that's going on. It'll say like, "Ooh, that tickles," or "Thank you for holding my hand," or "Did you just make it cold in here?" When my flashlight went off at the Old Baraboo Inn, like it just started like flickering, and I could have swore I saw somebody in the room, and you can hear me being like, "Oh gosh!" And then all of a sudden you hear the bear go, "Did you just make it warm in here?" And I was like, "Oh great, I'm by myself with this little Boo Bear thing."
Oh, that's funny.
But like
Now, wait a minute. What does the Boo Bear do? Does it, so it talks, but what does it have? Which one do you have?
So my good friend Pat, who's on the team, he bought the bigger version of the Boo Bear. That's like $300. So he bought that for the team. I ended up buying the Boo Bear Junior. So it's like the smaller version, and it has it's kind of like a REM pod a little bit. So like if you go close to it, the stomach lights up green, and then the paws will light up red. Now with the adult version, he's got green, red, yellow on his stomach, and then all 4 paws light up, and it talks at the same time. And with that, you can actually charge it instead of using batteries, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Except I'm the one that we finally converted my big, I got London Fog hard case luggage a couple years ago for Christmas. And because of COVID, I only used each piece once, and they're already cracked. You'd think, I thought London Fog was like a good brand, but I guess not. So they both cracked. So we were sitting on the 30th when we were doing our recap of the year and stuff. We were sitting here, and after a few cocktails, and I said, you know, we really need to invest in a hard case for all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. But then most of it comes home with me, and then I've got like things charging all over my house trying to get ready for the next investigation.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of equipment.
We were kind of in the same boat. We're like, oh, what do we use? What kind of baggage to? And I mean, I've been through so much baggage, but the one thing that actually worked, I'll show you guys, is we actually used tackle boxes. And it's got everything in there. So like what's nice too with the tackle boxes is for like all the wiring, it all fits perfectly in there.
Nice.
Oh, Dale's gonna be jealous now.
So we barely, I mean, you know, you just put everything in, it keeps it in there. It makes it so obviously the wires don't get mixed up and tangled and all that. That's the one thing I hate is untangling wires. It's a pain in the butt, and it takes forever, and it's just not necessarily
right.
So our new plasma globe, we just got the plasma globe, and the only problem with it is you really have to pay attention in order to see if something is manipulating it. Unless you're like strong on it, like a REM, you know, you have to really pay attention, and you can just get hypnotized by those, you know, the little electrical things. They keep doing the same pattern, and you can just get, I was watching it was like 45 minutes of footage watching to see if anything happened, because we just had a cam on it, and I messaged them like, I think I'm hypnotized.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's definitely mesmerizing. But
well, I always get a headache every single time I do evidence review, because you're watching footage and footage. And it's like you think you see something, but you're not sure because your eyes are playing tricks on you, and especially when it's like pitch dark and you're using night vision. There's been so many times where I thought I saw something, and then somebody else on the team's watching it too, and they're like, there was nothing there. I was like, then you watch it then for another hour, and you tell me what you think.
Well, and make sure you're still shielding too when you're doing your editing. Make sure you're shielding, because you can still pick up on stuff.
Isn't that crazy? I can pick up on it because I do all the editing, but even if I'm watching it again or we're watching somebody else's, it's like it's like you're there. You can feel all of it's just, that's crazy to me how you can feel.
I mean, even pictures have done that before, where like people have sent me pictures of like, what do you think of this picture? And there's been a couple of pictures where I'm just like, oh, that's an instant headache, or my eye hurts, or all of a sudden dizzy, and all that kind of stuff. It was like, you know, let me know next time what you're sending. They can do that. It's just like haunted objects. It's the same thing.
Absolutely.
When stuff is attached to them, and like for example, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Greg and Dana Newkirk. They do the Museum of the Traveling and Occult, and they have a ton of like haunted items and all that kind of stuff. Well, they had a skyring mirror, And it's supposed to where you look into the mirror and you kind of can like predict the future and like see it happen on yourself. My friend Pat, a little backstory on him. He was actually injured in the NIU shooting that happened in Illinois.
Oh, wow.
And Pat was looking at this mirror, and all of a sudden he saw a gunshot wound, and he flipped out immediately.
Wow.
And that's because of whatever energy was in that mirror. It's kind of like this is what the spirits were showing. But yeah, and that's why Pat joined too, because after that experience of that, he started having paranormal experiences and stuff like that. We also call Pat our weatherman because he interned with. Do you guys get WGN where you guys live? It's like a news station, or do you guys know who Tom Skilling is, the weatherman?
No.
Okay. He's kind of like a famous weatherman out here in Chicago, and he actually interned with him. So anytime it like snows or rains or anything, we're always like, Pat, what's the weather? We're gonna have here.
Yeah.
He left immediately.
That's funny.
But
That's awesome.
He's a good guy, and he's also the ninja on the team. He'll be there 1 second, then he disappears, and all of a sudden he's right behind you, and you're like, oh my god, what's going on?
That's funny.
So out of all the investigations you guys have done, what would be your scariest encounter?
Ooh. Huh.
Well, my personal scariest encounter was back in the summer. I can't remember the name of that cemetery that we were at, but we were there in the pitch black, dark,
Wesley Chapel.
Yeah, Wesley Chapel.
Okay.
And you could hear coyotes and you'd hear the screech owl. I mean, it was just super creepy. And something wanted my attention so much that it was taking my air. And I was far from Ashley and Stephanie. Dale was not there that evening. And so I had to make my way over to them so that Ashley could help me, get that thing off of me because it wanted my attention so much. I was just coughing and coughing and coughing. And I got a little bit creeped out, over that, but once Ashley and I worked together, it shut right down and I was able to get what I needed, the information, which was interesting because it pointed us to the marker with the person's name on it that was trying to get my attention. So it was really cool. And Ashley got touched that day. You got touched that day, Stephanie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was creepy out in the middle of nowhere.
Thank you, Joe and Carrie. Joe and Carrie jumped on, so we're awesome.
Oh, hi.
That cemetery. So the funny part is that cemetery is when I was growing up, that's all we did was go to. I mean, that was the thing for us to do is go to cemeteries. I don't know if that's just because we're weird or what, but we used to
just because you were a little weird.
Yeah, a lot because my good friend lived right there, so we'd walk down even before we could drive or whatever. But known for Ghost Girl. So I actually didn't know that the old part existed because I usually went in the dark and we just focused on the newer, well, not newer, I shouldn't say that, but the newer of the old. Right. And there's 3 headstones in the middle and you're supposed to shine your lights on there. And then the old days turn your car off, but your lights are still on. And then Ghost Girl's supposed to rise. And then if she rises, then your car doesn't start and all that stuff. So
urban legends.
Right.
Yeah. So my dad and I went and checked it out during the day one time, I think the summer before or something. And I really I love the cemetery. I want to be buried there. So I need to find out how I can get to be buried there. But we were just going to have a new moon cleansing ritual ceremony. And so Tina and I went early. It was a gorgeous day and we were taking all these pictures and we got a lot of, Yeah, for the first time, we got a lot of we don't have a K2 meter, but EMF meter.
Right.
And so we had a lot of feels. And so when Ashley because Ashley actually works for people, we work for ourselves. So she usually gets there later. But we like set up everything. We have a video on this, and I fast forwarded through all of our giggling and our ritual and all that stuff. And then we're like, since we're here, why don't we just go check it out? And it's pitch black by that time. And
it's black.
Yeah, I was touched, and I thought it was a branch behind me, and I turned around and there was no branch. And then Tina was choked and Ashley was touched. And then at the end, we decided to do our ghost girl. And so we all got in my car and pulled in, and we were freaking each other out. We laughed so hard. We laughed. Like for you, I know some people get irritated. They're like, you're supposed to be spooky. No, we're not here to scare anybody. We're here to have fun and help spirits and people. So we hear something under my car, and I don't know, we were arguing about it, and I was like, I don't feel anything. Tina, and she's like, I don't feel anything. Ashley, she goes, I don't know, but I'm going to pee my pants. And then there was something in the car, and I said, okay, before anybody gets out of the car, I'm going to run over it. Whatever it is, I'm running over it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, you just had to be there. But
it was
the footage is pretty hilarious.
Yeah. We used to do our intro and our outro at the beginning, just so we don't forget, because we were forgetting to do the outro, and you're tired, you're whatever.
Right.
So we do that at the beginning, but we weren't planning on doing an investigation, so we did neither of them. And the bugs were so bad. So we're trying to do our intro and outro with a light shining on it. It's spitting bugs all over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's bad about investigating outside is the stupid bugs.
Yeah. And that was August. Yeah, that was in August.
Oh God. Yeah, that's like the worst time too, with all the bugs coming, and it's like even hotter out too.
Right.
I have to say my scariest. I don't know. I think just going down in the Randolph basement for the second time during the dark, after I'm exhausted, and knowing Tina had not been down there because she didn't do the tour with us. She did her own thing.
Right.
So I had already been through it. I'd already wanted to throw up in several rooms and knew what to expect. So I was dreading it even more. And there's the one room where there was like 4 men that raped this woman was really, really, really bad. And I think that was probably just going down those hallways just really creeped me out.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we've been to, I think, a lot of jails or prisons or any place like that has like kind of all that dark history to it. That would just creep me out. And because the one time we were given access to go to the Joliet State Prison in Joliet, where Blues Brothers was filmed there and all that stuff. But just walking into those huge, and you see like these guard towers and all that, and you just get all that like creepy, dark feeling to you.
Well, there's a lot of negative energy in places like that.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of not so nice people.
No, I mean the one place that we really want to go to is the Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Want to go there.
Joe and Carrie, the paranormal side. Didn't you guys go there? You guys went there. They jumped on.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to that place. I've seen that place on so many TV shows and all that. And I mean, not just because of that, but like the history behind it too is it's ridiculous. I mean, there's God, what's the other place? Mansfield. We want to try to go to Mansfield. We're actually in September. It's in Ohio. Have you guys ever been to Poasttown Elementary? So Poasttown is in Ohio, It's a very, very old school, but they're actually doing a free paranormal conference where you can get like a free table and all that kind of stuff. I'm not exactly sure of where it is, but it's in September. But you get a free table. It's like a big free paranormal conference, so you can meet other people in the paranormal and stuff like that. I was gonna say, since it's so close to Ohio, if you guys want to check that out, apparently
I wrote it
free
down.
for free table and stuff like that. And I want to get more info on it. I can send it to you guys. And
Yeah,
so that'd be kind of cool to meet up.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
well, I got it down. We'll check it out.
Yeah, and then whenever you get some information, send it to us because we would love to check that out. So we were very disappointed because when I watched a video of Randolph before we went, and there's a jail cell. It's just one cell, and I could not wait to go sit in there. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
But we're so lucky. Last year, we paid for one event, one investigation. Everything that we've done has all been free because we know somebody or because we just living on the Ohio River and by now there is so much history, you know, from here all the way through Indy, all the way up to Chicago. There's so much history along here. And so we have a backlog of places that we can't even get to. And just mainly Franklin County, Indiana, and Laurel, Indiana, there was the tiny one, well, it's a 2-room jail, but it's got one cell. I was filming at the time. Dale and I were both filming, but I was filming Ashley during the day, just opening the outside door, and then you go into like an area where people could sit, and then there's the jail cell. And Tina and I think Dale were doing B-roll and B shots and stuff. And I don't know how long it had been since somebody had opened that door, but it was like, it just came out at you. It was crazy. And so we decided to do our first alone challenges, but I mean, we were all, so Ashley did one by herself in the cell and we were outside, and then Tina and I decided to do one together because it was getting late. So we did one. Well, by this time, everybody's slap happy because it was a crazy night. The rods were spinning around and doing all kinds of stuff. So they're all getting slap happy, and they were throwing rocks at the window. And at first we thought it really was something till they came up behind me in the window and they tried to scare me. Yeah, we will get them.
We will get them back. Yes,
but that was the one where we lost a bunch of footage. That was the only one where we've lost a ton of footage. And the worst part was, it was my first night vision IR camera that I got, and I got my money back and got to keep the camera. So, but I could watch it on the camera, but the minute I take it out or plug it into my computer or take it out and put it in the computer, nothing. And I even tried VCL, I think it is. VCL is the recovery one. I can preview it, but it will not. And it's like, I could see all this great footage. And I spent 2 days trying to recover. I almost just like videoed my screen playing it. But yeah, that one was crazy.
Yeah. We've done that one before where we've gotten something so good and it doesn't transfer over or anything like that, and we've videoed it off the screen. Now, I feel the reason it doesn't transfer is because maybe whatever you captured does not want to be seen, and it doesn't want to be seen by other people.
Correct.
So it's like, nope.
Yep.
No.
Yep. We had that other time when, the time when every battery drained. My brand new first time using it, very nice camera, wouldn't work. Overheated. How does a camera overheat, for God's sake?
The SD card wouldn't work. The
SD card wouldn't work. It was crazy, that other one. Basically
batteries are a big thing for us. They die constantly. Like
Mhm.
you can, like this past weekend when we went, I had my new Sony camera charged, already dead. As soon as we went into the basement, it was blinking. I was like, come on.
Yep.
So I
Right.
keep changing the batteries, keep changing the batteries, keep going,
Yeah.
keep going.
Yep.
But
And
I mean, at least,
plug in the other one in.
yeah, yep, everything was plugging in. It says, I'm in Ohio and would like to check that out. Also trying to get things started for my own channel. And I have been to Mansfield once, no video, but did have some experiences in the middle of the day. Very nice, Gregory.
Part of Ohio are you in, Gregory? Let us know what part of Ohio you were in, because we're in Southeast Indiana and Southwest Ohio.
So you said Lake County, Indiana, right?
Do what?
You said Lake County, Indiana?
Franklin County.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say I'm in Lake County, Illinois.
No, I'm like Ashley and I are almost in Kentucky and Ohio. Like we're right on the border. I'm closer than Ashley is, but
okay.
Upload it to your memory, download it to your computer. I couldn't even get it to do that. You had the same problem? Well, I have a new IR camera now. I think it was also the type of file it was, for whatever reason, was not like for the first 7 minutes maybe, and it wasn't even it would vary. So it wasn't always 7 minutes. It could have been 6 minutes. It could have been 8 minutes.
Right.
But now I have a new camera and it's fine. But yeah.
Let's see. So Gregory is south of Canton, so that's 4 hours.
Yeah. So is that northwest or middle? North.
Well, Canton's a little south of Cleveland, so northeast.
We aren't really by Wilmington either. We're a couple hours from
about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, the only time I went to Ohio was when I went to Cedar Point. That was it.
North. That's north.
And Sandusky, because I love roller coasters with a passion.
I used to. Now I'm old.
And we have Six Flags Great America in Chicago, and we were given the opportunity to do, because they do Fright Fest every year. We were given the opportunity to perform a Fright Fest show for them on ghost hunting.
Oh, cool.
And they're like, well, kind of, what are you going to show? What are you going to demonstrate to everybody? And I was like, just out of the blue, I didn't think they would let us do it. I said, can we investigate the park alone? Nobody here? They're like, sure. I was like, what?
Yes!
That's awesome.
That was probably our scariest time, being in this huge abandoned theme park with nobody there.
Yeah.
They have everything set up for Fright Fest, so like everywhere you turn, there's like a fake monster or whatever. But they had all the lights off.
Yeah.
And we're just walking, and like some of the roller coasters, you can hear like weird noises and stuff like that. And people have reported the park was very, very haunted.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, we have Kings Island, and it's supposed to be very haunted.
Yeah, Kings Island. I heard about Kings Island. St. Louis, I heard, is very haunted. Six Flags St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis, right there on the river. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, that is proof, Nick, that you can't get what you don't ask for. So there's not a stupid question ever, or I mean, all they could have said was no. Right. And they said yes. So that's awesome.
Right, because they wanted us to have something to show the audience for coming into the theme park and all that. And there were a couple of people that were like, we're never going back to this park again. We're like, that's not our fault. Sorry. This is what they told us to do. So but that was probably the best time being a paranormal investigator, was being able to do that at a theme park and all that. And we found out other paranormal investigators tried to get into the park, and they said no. So we were the only ones ever allowed to do that. And I was like, wow. It was just kind of like that, shock factor, that shock feeling.
Right.
But I mean, we've been on so many adventures with being a paranormal investigator and all that. It all started when I was younger. I had a paranormal experience with this girl named Jackie. She was a really close friend to the family, and she was dating my cousin, and that's how we really knew her and stuff like that. And they had, broke up and stuff like that. But unfortunately, she had gotten to a car accident and passed away. Her head had hit the windshield.
Oh, wow.
And when that happened, I was like 18 when this happened. And she died a few days later in the hospital. This was like 2 weeks before Christmas, too. And I was just devastated by it. I didn't really know what was going on and all that. And, it was somebody I was really close to.
Mm.
Well, in July, when my experience happened, I was just sitting in my room like normal, just watching TV, had the windows open. It was very, very hot outside. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it got intensely cold in my room, like 40 degrees. And I was like, what's going on? The air's not on, nothing's on, no fan, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, all these thoughts of Jackie were going through my head of stuff we used to do. And then Jackie had a very distinct scent about her. And it came into the room. And then I felt the classic hand on my shoulder. And while all this was going on, I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
Right.
It lasted maybe 10 seconds, but it was the most comforting, comfortable 10 seconds I've ever experienced. And then it ended. It went back to being hot in my room. It was bad. And then all of a sudden, I was like, okay, what just happened? Because I didn't believe in ghosts or anything like that. I thought, I was like, okay, something had to have happened. So my thing is, Jackie, I feel that Jackie put me on a path. Like maybe I was going down a wrong path, but then because of this, I found all these people now. And that's the way I look at it. So like, if it wasn't for that experience, I wouldn't have known anything with paranormal investigators. I would have never met you guys. I would have never met anybody. So because of that, I've met so many, fantastic people, and we've had our ups and downs with other teams along the way, and being rude to us, making fun of us and all that kind of stuff. But it's a big ignore. Just completely ignore them, block them. That's what we need to do, especially with current events that are going on right now. I'll just put it that way.
Right. Well, she probably knew, like you said, probably going down the wrong path, and that you aren't highly sensitive. And, and she was worried that you were absorbing and getting anxious and all that. And through that experience, you're now able, to know what to do and learn how to control. And, it's just, she knew.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. 100%. That's awesome. Going to tears in my eye.
So before we go, though, do you guys want to explain what PRYIS is?
Yeah. So there's actually Paranormal Side is on here. Woohoo! Right now. But, so PRYIS is Paranormal Researchers on YouTube Integrity Society. We call it Prius. I don't know about you, Joe and Carrie, but it's just easier. But really, it's, teams that we recruit or that ask to be a part of it. And the main thing is you just don't fake ever. Right. So you have a YouTube channel, you put out real content, and you support each other. And we have a Facebook page that Joe runs, and then also a Reddit community, which I still have no idea how to, I know you can post and stuff, but I don't understand really how to make it work. Like the algorithm, I don't know anything about Reddit, so I'm not sure how to make it work for us. But Chris from American Phantom Hunters and Joe from the Paranormal Side, they collaborated together, and then they decided that this would be fun to do this. And I think Get Spooky was the first, if not second, maybe channel to be a part of it. And Chris manages all of the logos, etc. And
Mhm.
I think we've got a great group, and we just got
Oh, yeah.
Ghostly Whispers just asked to be a part of it. So I'm glad to have Madeline on board, and we have a few others that are just slow to get their logos to us. But I think we're at 21 now with Ghostly Whispers 22.
Oh, wow.
And I don't remember, Joe, when you guys started this, but I want to say it was was it November? You'll have to let us know. But yeah, I mean, we've grown a lot in a very short period of time. We were the first.
And yeah, I love being a part of this. I told my people, and they were very, very excited.
It's just really awesome because it's got some really awesome channels, and you know, I know other people have tried to do similar things, but it seems to me that in the ones that have failed, they had a YouTube channel, and for it all, they had a YouTube channel, and it just ended up being a big fight and stuff. We don't have a YouTube channel. We all have our own channels. This is just about getting the word out there, you know, on the Facebook page and such, and the graphics, using the graphics and such. But Mark B should be on there. Mark B, I just want to answer a few questions. Bloomington would be awesome for paranormal activity. Greg, I do not know about Eddie and Jen vlogs, but that sounds familiar. And yes, that would be awesome if you could get into the Busch Gardens.
In Williamsburg. Oh yeah. Williamsburg, I mean, hands down.
Yeah.
Insanely active.
He said Joe says there's a little old cemetery in there that not a lot of people know about.
Oh, wow.
But one other thing we would really like to say is too, we've met so many amazing people, not necessarily in person. Oh, okay. So they have a YouTube channel, Eddie and Jen. Oh, we'll have to check that out. And do you have your own channel, Greg? Is it under your name? Let us know so we can check you out. But because Tina and I started all of this work on our abilities, then we got into Oracle and Tarot cards, more Oracle than Tarot. And it just grew from there, crystals and all these things. And so now we have Get Sparked Society. So we have our first sub brand. So now all of our things, we do daily readings. I see a dog. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's me.
Usually I have to let my dog in and out while we're doing lives, but we do live card readings. We do a lot about moonology, and, you know, around the lunar phases, we'll do a live. And we now do Get Sparked Society gatherings, virtual and in person. And it's because of a lot of our folks want to learn more about crystals. They want to learn more about meditation. And I know, Nick, you did a crystal video. That's one of the first ones I watched of yours. And so we have like 6 topics right now, but that's what we're doing. And it's fun. And I hand burn and hand paint crystal grids and different things. And we're going to have our own Oracle card sets based off of our photography. I'm a nature photographer as well. And Tina does a lot of our investigation photography. She's really good at landscapes and stuff and buildings and that. And so we're going to have our own Oracle card decks. And it's just amazing to me how much we've grown in a year, basically.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's all about helping people, living and dead.
Yeah.
Spirit and, you know, and all, if we can help someone better themselves and feel better about, you know, who they are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, what better gift?
Yeah. I mean, we're the same. We love helping people, especially with, you know, going on paranormal investigations, and even for skeptics out there. We love when skeptics come with us, because sometimes we'll do what are called like shadow hunters para hunts, and we'll take people with us and we'll put them in our shoes so they can kind of experience stuff. And a lot of the times we've had skeptics come with, and they're like, I didn't believe, but I do now. And it's just getting the information out there that there is life after death.
There's something else.
Right.
We had our first and only paid event investigation of the Masonic Lodge in Laurel, Indiana. And we had already investigated there and knew it was off the charts. But they let us investigate like the meeting temple room and not the rest of the building. And then they changed their minds and we're like, you guys had visions of the 3rd degree ritual. We don't really want you in there anymore. So they let us have the rest of the building. And we had, I think, 10 guests. And 10 guests. And Ashley and I made contact with a 4-year-old little boy that was looking for his mommy and daddy. It's a long story. You can go watch it. Tina's group came back down because we had 2 different groups. Tina's group came down and Tina actually helped him cross over to his parents. And the guests were just like all crying and believe like they are in full belief now because we had so much happen that they couldn't. They couldn't explain any other way. So it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, that one is pretty awesome because I remember the one gentleman commenting, all this flashlight activity and cat ball and all this stuff was going on. And then this little boy needed crossed over. So once I crossed him over, everything shut down. Nothing, not another peep out of anything.
Right.
And they're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, usually that's what ends up happening. And
it was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. And that was actually my first spirit crossing that I've done. I also work as an end-of-life doula, so I've done live people crossing over, in their last moments, but to actually have a spirit that had been lingering for 100 years to help him cross. Yeah, that was just.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can't even. It still makes me cry. I'm still getting.
I'm
still getting all emotional.
It'll definitely do that, especially when you can help, especially a little child spirit.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that was
and
really good.
Together, the story was that's what blew everybody's mind, that they were interested in it. And the one guy that you're talking about, Tina, that said that he's very religious and he was struggling with, is this right, what we're doing? And he messaged me several times afterwards. And I said, was it amazing that we helped a little 4-year-old soul find his mommy and daddy? He said, yeah. I said, then are we doing the right thing? He goes, I guess we are. You are.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's amazing that what we can do in the field.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Love it. Absolutely. Love it.
But I want to thank you guys so much for being on our first episode of the new show.
It's awesome.
And also, guys, please make sure that you guys go visit Get Spooky Society's YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button right here. And then also hit the bell to get notifications. Where else can they find you guys?
Bye, Mark B. He has to go to bed. He said 4 a.m. comes. And by the paranormal side, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and a website. All Get Spooky Society, all of them. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, website, and YouTube.
Yep. And all of our services are on the website. We have an Etsy shop as well.
Oh yeah, we have an.
There you go.
Sparked.
Yeah, for the Get Sparked Society, for the Etsy shop, for all of our wonderful products that Stephanie and I make.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, again, thank you guys so much for being on our first episode.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely have to get together soon.
Absolutely. Yes. See it in the future.
All right. Great.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our first episode of Shadow Hunters YouTube experience. My name is Nick Sarlo. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share the video, and we will see you guys next time on our YouTube.